very good Tuesday morning to everyone across Wobbles country and beyond. Landon here with you to bring you your weather and night forecast courtesy of On Target. Folks, the excessive heat has made its way into the region and it is here to stay, at least here over the course of the remainder of the work week. We can get a look here at the latest surface map. We got high pressure that continues to be sent up right along and near the Appalachian Mountains to shove in those winds out of the south. It's also keeping all these weather makers at bay well off to our west and to the north and west. And it's pretty much going to remain that way, folks, until we get late into the work week on Friday. We're finally going to get a cold front in here that's going to be introducing at least some isolated to widely scattered rain chances into the region. And we absolutely need that without a shadow of a doubt. Beechtree News Skycam showing crystal clear skies out there. Going to be another day of sunshine dominating the forecast out there, right? It's already warm and soupy this morning. It's really going to pick up here as we work throughout the day as well. White Squirrel Weather Nest Cam overlooking WKU in Bowling Green. Again, similar scenario. Got a little bit of haze out there. Got a few patchy areas of fog back there near the horizon. Be aware of that if you're heading out on the morning commute and you're a part of those typical fog-prone locations. Temperatures and dew points already located anywhere between the low and mid-60s, similar to where we were this time yesterday. It's going to be hotter this afternoon, y'all. We're going to be taking highs all the way up between the mid and upper 90s. The good news is dew points aren't going to remain excessive. They should be hanging out somewhere around the low to mid-60s. It's going to take the edge off those heat indices during the afternoon. That is the good news. But funny enough, as we get into Friday, whenever temperatures are going to fall a few degrees, the dew points are actually going to rise. So we're going to be keeping that intense heat feel. It's going to be very uncomfortable in the outdoors with us throughout at least the remainder of the work week. Getting a better illustration here as we were trying to depict there on our radar Omega there a short time ago at the start of the video. High pressure is going to mitigate any rain chances to right along and north of the Ohio River. Unfortunately, no rain chances for us. We might catch some cloud debris here and there, which we would be in favor of, that might help mitigate high temperatures a degree or two. But for the most part, folks, we're just looking at rays of sunshine dominating, and it is going to be very, very hot out there, to say the least. Let's get a look here at the latest short-term model guidance to start things off here, to take a look over the course of the next 48 to 72 hours. We're going to work into this afternoon, and you can see temperatures are going to climb very quickly. The HRRR models got us up at or exceeding 90 degrees by 11 a.m. All right? By the time we roll into the peak heating of this afternoon, mid and upper 90s are going to be realized. Folks, we're not looking at heat indices. We're looking at temperature forecast, all right? So heat indices will be right near or at the 100 degree mark or potentially exceeding that at times. So please, please be aware of that. If you think today is going to be hot, take a look at tomorrow and on into our Thursday. Going to be up in the lower 90s an hour earlier tomorrow into Thursday, right around the 9 to 10 a.m. time frame, all the way up into the 90s. That's absolutely ridiculous. And then take a look at the afternoon. How about that? Hitting the century mark. Forecasting here on the short-term model guidance both Wednesday and Thursday afternoon. Heat indices might be a degree or two more, but again, folks, dew points hanging out and hovering between the low and mid-60s is really going to play in our favor in shaving off that feel and that edge from the heat indices getting upwards of 105, 110 degrees. Luckily, we are not going to be dealing with that, it would appear, right? The excessive heat continues to be brought to us by this large sustained upper level ridge. It is centered right over the Wabash Valley. It's going to trickle down into the Tennessee Valley as we work into tomorrow and Thursday, bringing the even hotter conditions here across the region. We've been talking about this over the past several days, but this large trough is going to come barreling in here out of the north and west. It's going to retrograde that ridge back off to the west, and whenever it does so, here we are looking at Thursday into Friday, this trough is going to be bringing an associated cold front along with it, all right? So here we are looking at the surface map at roughly lunchtime into mid-afternoon on Friday. At the exact same time, this is what the surface map is going to look like. Cold front approaching out of the north and west. Scattered storm chances arriving as early as Friday afternoon. And then that's going to continue as we work throughout our Friday evening. And folks, you can see right here on the bold black lettering, our storm chances Friday into Saturday is going to be followed by sweet relief. Deep northwest flow, signified by the pink and purple arrows here, is going to be ushering in a cooler, much less humid air mass for us to soak in. This looks to be arriving just in time as we get into the latter part of our Sunday, but more importantly on into Labor Day, with those rain and storm chances pouring down as the cold front exits the region down to the south and east. Well, Landon, how much relief are we talking about? Well, why don't we go ahead and let's show you. GFS model showcasing the dew points like what we were talking about, folks. If there's a silver lining, it's that our dew points today, tomorrow, and Thursday are going to hang out between the low and mid 60s, all right, as you can see here. Here we are working into Thursday night, and here we are getting into Friday, folks, and notice the moisture return getting ramped up as the cold front approaches out of the north and west. It's going to help increase our southerly flow. We're going to have dew points up right around the 70-degree mark during the peak heating of Friday afternoon. Once again, we could have heat indices at or exceeding 100 degrees. But watch throughout the long Labor Day weekend. We get into Saturday. We're still going to keep it very soupy out there, even though temperatures will be a few degrees cooler. Scattered storm chances remain in place throughout our Saturday. Sunday, they're going to become more isolated, and then you can blatantly see where the cooler, less humid air mass is going to work in here out of the north and west behind the cold front that will finally be getting out of our hair. If you have any, that is, of course. So take a look here. Sunday night, then we get into Labor Day. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Temperatures down between the upper 70s to lower 80s for highs come Labor Day afternoon. Dew points all the way down between the upper 40s, creeping up potentially up into the low and mid 50s. It is going to be absolutely immaculate out there, folks, throughout the early days of next week. Look at Tuesday. Going to keep dew points between the mid and upper 50s. We might creep up to around the 60-degree mark again. But nonetheless, folks, for this time of year with cooler temperatures, a guarantee, that is going to be a welcome sign of relief. And here we are looking at a week from this coming Friday. We're going to have some more humidity trying to work back in here from the west, all right? Here's the weather story, folks, and this is what we are absolutely focused on. Hot and humid over the course of the remainder of the work week on into the start of the weekend. Real-time readings out there between the mid and upper 90s. I do think that we will hit the 100-degree mark in a few locations here across Wobbles, probably more typical in the little bit of an urbanized area in Bowling Green. We could definitely hit the 100-degree mark, but that remains to be seen, and we will obviously be watching that. In regards to the next couple of days, folks, today we're on the moderate scale in the heat risk, but tomorrow on into our Thursday, take a look. We've been bumped all the way up to the major category. We got a few extreme purple slivers there that are approaching out of the south and west. If you're going to be outdoors for extended periods of time, y'all please take this seriously. Rehydrate as necessary, reapply the sunscreen as necessary, take as many breaks as you need as what you're allotted, and take advantage of that to cool the rev limiter down, if you know what I'm saying. So let's give you the full 6-day forecast breakdown, courtesy of Ohio Valley Insurance. Upper 90s to right around the 100-degree mark, folks. Today, tomorrow, and Thursday, it's going to be torrid out there in the outdoors. And then finally, we get some relief. More cloud cover by Friday afternoon, some hit and miss to wildly scattered storm chances. This continues throughout the entirety of Labor Day weekend, but as we work into Sunday and Monday, that activity is going to be pared down and become more isolated in nature. Still going to hold on to highs between the mid and upper 90s Saturday into Sunday, but folks, although you can't see it, all model guidance is pointing towards an immaculate Labor Day. We will have to deal with a pop-up shower storm out there meandering around, but highs between the upper 70s, lower 80s, dew points coming down. It is going to feel fantastic in the great outdoors. And folks, although it isn't significant, it is worth noting that the rainfall forecast has bumped us up a few tenths here. So again, the bulk of this will be falling in Friday afternoon into Saturday. Not everybody is going to receive this much rain, but we can take any and all that we can get right now because we have become extraordinarily dry across the region, to say the least. That'll wrap up your Tuesday morning weather or not forecast, brought to you by On Target. You all take care of yourselves and each other. Have a tremendous second